Hi artists! So now that you've heard the story mixed and you know what the three primary colors are, red, yellow, and blue, some of you, I'm sure a lot of you knew that already, we're gonna play around with a little bit of color mixing. So I realized that everybody kind of has different things in their house for them to use. So I'm going to show you many different ways, and you can use what you have, and if you have more than one of these things, you might want to try them all out. So first thing is I grabbed the three primary colors with crayons. So I know a lot of you might have crayons. The other thing I had around were washable markers. So I had Crayola in the three primary colors, so I grabbed those. And then I also have watercolor paints, and so I grabbed those as well. You might have different kinds of paints, but I just grabbed watercolor. So what we're gonna do is we are going to try mixing using all of these different ways. So I'm gonna start with crayon. So crayon is the tool that is probably going to mix the least well, just because it's not really a medium that is the best for mixing, but you can do it a little bit. So on my sketchbook here, I'm gonna start with the first color of the rainbow. And if you guys know, we've talked about Roy G. Biv, so R stands for red. So what I'm gonna do is at the top of my sketchbook here, and you can do this on any type of paper that you have, I'm going to press my crayon down really hard. You know, in my art room, we call this thick and thirsty. And as I keep going across, I'm gonna start to get lighter and lighter, okay? Then I'm going to take the next color in the rainbow that is of the primary colors, which is yellow. And I'm gonna come right around towards the middle here. And again, I'm gonna press really thick and thirsty. And as I start going into the red or towards the red, you can probably guess what's going to start appearing as the red and the yellow start to go on top of each other. And if you were thinking orange, then you would be correct. Now, if you want to go back over a little bit of that yellow with the red, just really lightly, try and see if you can get it to be a little bit more orangey. Okay, so I'm also going to keep going on the yellow, a little lighter on this side when we start to mix over here. Okay, so now I'm going to take my blue, which would be the next primary color, and I'm going to do it really thick over here. And as I start going towards that yellow, you're probably going to guess, probably know what's going to start to appear. Green. Love that. I think with the crayons, the blue and the yellow mix the best. Okay, then I'm gonna keep going over here really light and even lighter. Okay, so actually I'm gonna take the yellow and even more, press a little harder. We don't wanna press too hard so that our crayons break, but as I pressed in a little bit more yellow, it's more green. Okay. So now let's pick up our red again, and over here I'm gonna go a little thicker, and then I'm gonna start going over that blue, and that of course, blue and red are going to make purple. The crayons don't really show that the best. I don't think the blue and red do the greatest job with the crayons of making purple, but you can see it a little bit. There it is. Okay, so there's our color mixing with the crayons. Same kind of thing if you want to try it out with the markers. And the markers I love, just gonna do it on the same page here, because I can add My markers are kind of running out, so I'll try to get as much as I can here. And I'm gonna do kind of the same process here. And go right into that red, start making orange. I'm gonna do this a little bit faster this time because I wanna show you guys a cool trick. Okay, so back with the blue, to get our green happening. Ooh, yeah, there it is. Love that. Okay, then back with the red. And what I like to do, especially with the washable markers, is I like to add a little bit of water to it because that activates the ink and will make them mix even more. So I have a cup of water over here and a paintbrush. And again, if you don't have a paintbrush, that's okay. I just want to show you when I add a little bit of water to where the two colors overlap, you're gonna start to see that secondary color coming through. Now, of course, some of you might know that won't work the best on the crayons, and some of you probably know why. Because crayon is made out of wax, and that does not mix well with water. Ooh, I love what's happening with the green here. Awesome. Okay, so the other one I wanted to show you guys, and I have it here in my sketchbook. I already did it a little bit. Yep, there it is. It's all dry. I did the same kind of thing, but instead of a line, I did circles. So I took these I did with my watercolors, so you could do the same thing. And what I did, here I'll do one here for you, is I took one of the primary colors, so maybe I'll do one right here for you guys. So whenever I did a combo with yellow, I always start with yellow because that's light, the lightest. So I just did a circle in my sketchbook with watercolors. You could also do this with the markers, that would work too. And then washed my brush and let's see, let's make green. So then I would take blue and I just did another circle that intersects or bumps into the other one. And as I start to mix those, I don't know if you can see in this light very well, but it's starting to make a green where those two hit each other. So then to take it a little bit further, I'm sure when you look at this, you're thinking of the mixed story with all the circles. So what I'm gonna do in my sketchbook is I'm gonna add faces to these circles that I've done. So I just have a permanent marker here. You could do it in pencil if you have pencil, marker, whatever works for you. And I'm just going to, because I love that story so much, I'm going to put different faces and expressions on my circles here. So maybe that's a smile, maybe one of them is frowning. You could add hats to them. Anything you want. That could be really fun. So friends, I hope you had fun experimenting with color mixing. I can't wait to see your experimenting, and if you want to turn it into any sort of masterpiece, anything you've got, anything you tried, we'd love to see it. So please email it to us and have fun color mixing, guys. See ya.